Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining. We're just going to give everybody another minute to join, so bear with us for another minute, and we'll get started. Thanks.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, everyone on the call, and thanks for joining us for our live webinar, a deep dive into smart buildings. My name is Donna Perlstein. I'm VP Marketing at Axonize, and I'll be your moderator today. Please feel free to ask questions either in the chat or in the questions tab at any point during our discussion. Michael, our customer support director, will be answering questions throughout the demo. At this point, I would like to introduce our presenters, Janiv Ratson, Axonize CEO, and Shachar Peleg, our VP Business Development, the Americas.
Thank you, Dan.
First, we will do an overview and talk about Axonize and its smart buildings. Next, we will identify smart business needs and benefits, followed by a live demo and time for questions. At this point, I would like to introduce Janiv and Shachar. Over to you.
Thank you, Dana. Hi, guys. I'm Janiv, co-founder and CEO at Axonize. I'll start with presenting a few words about Axonize, and then we go to a live demo. Axonize provides an IoT orchestration platform purpose-built for service providers and system integrators. We enable our customers build a scalable and profitable IoT managed service. It can be a smart building, a smart warehouse, and today we will focus on a smart building use cases. We are already working with leading service providers worldwide. We are the home platform of Deutsche Telekom in worldwide, Singtel, Bezeq, the Israeli telco, some other service providers from other industries, Schneider Electric, Siemens, BMW, and so on. We launched our platform 2 years ago. We already have more than 1,500 projects in production in more than 30 different industries, from smart cities, smart building, warehouses, factories, and so on. Our customers are very happy with the platform. You can read some testimonials on our website or viewing this deck later. But the main benefits that they identify is the speed and scalability that Axonize provides them to deploy IoT projects, applications, use cases in scale, and the fact that we enable them to manage all their IoT solutions in one platform. What makes Axonize unique is the fact that we enable our customers to manage heterogeneous, logically grouped devices, application platforms. Just a minute, we have a comment that there are audio issues, but do you hear us, guys? Can
some it works well. Those who the audio doesn't work, just put up your speakers, sorry, your volume. Because most here can hear us.
Yes. Okay. So the audio works. So we enable our customers to manage heterogeneous logically grouped devices, application platforms, and systems. When you are a facility manager or providing a smart building use case, the main challenge is to connect lots of different devices from different vendors using different protocols, but to get all the information into one solution and create new insights for the facility manager. We also support both the digital twin and the device twin, the virtualization, virtual representation of devices, but not only devices, also the floors and the lobby and the buildings and so on. We enable them to support cross-app business logic, analytics, rules engine. So for example, if I'm in a building, I want to know what's the weather outside, what's the temperature internally, how many people are in the lobby now, how many people I'm expecting, and then set the HVAC accordingly. This is an example of cross-app business logic that Axonize provides as part of the platform. We also enable our customers to create any type of use case and application, but just configuring the platform, and we'll see it in a minute in the demo. And the fact that we enable our customers to manage all their buildings, all their different customers, and get some insights and automation across all the customers worldwide. The Axonize platform is built upon 5 core technologies that were developed here by our top-notch development team. It includes the Axonize IoT hierarchical business logic, which is responsible for the orchestration layer, enabling to manage all the customers in one solution. The Axonize IoT universal model enables us to support any type of device, sensor, application, or platform we want to connect to. We define everything, the device outside, for example, I have a building, it has floors, I have this sensor internally. The Axonize IoT universal model compiles everything and creates the dashboards, the analytics, the rules engine automatically. The other ones are the Cloud Gateway and Intelligent Edge, which are responsible for the connectivity. The Axonize IoT Intelligent Edge is an SDK or an agent that we provide to the hardware manufacturers, so everything will work automatically when connecting it to the Axonize platform. The Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway enables us to connect to legacy systems and platforms. For example, if I'm going to Hilton, New York hotel, the HVAC from Samsung is already there from the 90s, and the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway will enable us to connect to it very quickly. The Axonize IoT Hook is a component that enables our customers to enrich and expand the Axonize platform to their needs. Based on a recent survey by Verdantics on smart building technology, the following are the top priorities for building managers today. All these are addressed by smartifying your building. What is a smart building? A smart building is any structure that used automated process to automatically control the building operation. So I get all the information from all the sensors in the building, in the structure, and also be able to command them and control them. Some example of smart building includes office buildings, smart schools, hospitals, factories, stadiums, campuses, and so on. Some key smart building benefits are increasing occupant satisfaction. For example, making sure that areas are not too crowded and ensuring optimal balance between people and space, reducing operational costs. For example, avoid unnecessary heating, open windows, lighting of unused spaces, and reducing energy costs. Improving building utilization, such as room occupancy, parking spaces, shared desks, also known as hot desks, and so on. Before we go to the demo, we'd like to say a few words about 2 customers that we have. One of them is a very large facility management company, one of the largest, managing tens of thousands of buildings worldwide. They have many challenges. Mainly, they want to improve in the well-being of the occupants of the building. So improving the utilization of the meeting rooms. It is a known problem that meeting rooms are being booked but are not used. So they will be able to know which of the rooms are really occupied and save some energy by turning off the air conditioner or the lights and so on. Also improving the work of their building workers. For example, knowing that the bins in the rooms or in the toilet rooms are getting full and sending their some employees to clean it. They also have some energy use cases, knowing how much energy each of the tenants is using and creating a relevant, appropriate billing to them, and so on. The other use cases with shared office space, Shachar is our, it's a US-based, very large customer, so Shachar will say a few words about it. Shachar?
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Hello, everyone. Well, this use case is actually an interesting one because it's taking the optimization to a next level. It goes, it takes building optimization the next step from just monitoring the energy and optimizing the building and putting a lot of more emphasis on the tenants and people's efficiency. The logic behind it is that if I can increase the efficiency of the people working within my shared office space by just a few percentages, if I can increase their productivity by 3 to 5%, imagine if those people are earning a salary of 100 to 200K dollars a year. If I improve their efficiency by 5%, imagine just the benefits of that is just tremendous. So the focus there is on doing just that. Like, how do I make sure that the people are working at their highest efficiency? How do I make sure that they when they come in the morning, they know exactly where they could sit and where they have an available space? How can I make sure that when they book a meeting room, it will be empty and on time? And not only that, is how do I make sure that the meeting room that has been heavily utilized in the past few hours is actually clean and ready for them to use? So I need to be able, or they need to be able to understand the utilization and to be able to send cleaning personnel to clean ahead of time rooms that are heavily utilized, while on the other hand, rooms that are underutilized, you can space out the time where you clean. Another big factor or important factor for them is actually the experience of the people, not just their efficiency. So, for example, if a person that has brought their dog to work, they will get an automatic notification that they haven't walked their dog for a few hours. This strengthens the community feel. It strengthens the connection or the loyalty to of the tenants to that shared office location. And on the other hand, it increases the satisfaction of all the surrounding people, as well as they make sure that the dogs are walked on time. Those are just a few of the use cases, and with the Axonize that are implemented with the Axonize platform. One of the key benefits of the platform is that you could support this very wide variety of use cases, and you could actually implement them stage by stage, see what works, see and continue expanding that, see what doesn't work, and you put just very minimal effort into doing that. So that's just of another type of use case. Back to you, Johnny.
Thanks, Shachar. Now we're going to go into a live demo of Axonize's smart building capabilities. So if anybody has questions throughout the portion of the live demo or in general, please feel free to ask in the questions panel or in the chats panel, and we'll be answering questions also later on.
Thank you. These are the use cases that we're going to cover on a live demo. As Donna said, if you have any question, please feel free to raise them. So this is the Axonize platform. The Axonize platform provides 4 main pillars. The first one is device management. Then we have the visibility through dashboarding, reports, and so on. We have the automation pillar, which is the rules engine, workflows, and so on, and the analytics that will show you. Starting with the device management, this is where you let's start with the orchestration part. Here we have a use case of 2 buildings and a master application. So you can go and manage one specific building here, or you can go to the master application, the smart building, where you can manage your entire building is one solution. Here you will find all the devices from all the different buildings. You will find the rules that are relevant for all the buildings, alerts, users, and so on. But I'll start with the first building, the North Tower, device management. And here we will see a list. What was that? We will see a list of all the devices that we have on our North Tower building. Let me just refresh it. Maybe I'm not on the right tower. It's refreshing. Okay, so we have here the first. You can see the devices on a list, or you can see the devices on a diagram. This is for example, this is the lobby of the building. You can see the devices here. For example, we have here the smoke detector within the parking. We have the parking, specifically how many parking spaces there are, what is the utilization, currently it's 70%, and some other devices. The energy, the loading dock, smoke detectors, how many people are in the lobby now. When you go to a device, you can see not only the current status, but you can see some properties and configuration. You can configure the device remotely. You can see some charts if you want. We'll go through the analytics later. I'll talk about it when I get to this pillar. Last reading for troubleshooting. So what the device send, commands if you want to send. So some devices, they have commands, 2-way commands. So if I have a command, I can bypass or unbypass, and so on. Just a minute, I'll resize it. So this is the device management. I can go through other floors. This is the roof. Okay, so we have a device that I'm going to resize it. Let's resize this one as well. Just a minute. So this is the roof of a building. We have here 2 sensors that weight the weight of the snow on the building, or water, and so on. Yes, currently there is an alarm, so it reached the threshold. It could be floor 1, and here you can see the building diagram and different sensors and their statuses. Some of them are alarmed. It's a demo. Don't worry, there is no smoke here in the building. Another part of the Axonize platform is that we mentioned is the automation. These are the rules. It's very easy to create rules and that will follow some and actions. Here we have turn off the AC in specific time, motion in server room, and so on. Let me show you an example. Fire alarm, for example. So you can decide, you're going to create a rule, you can decide if you want to get an alert, and if yes, what is the severity of the alert you want to get. You can set up conditions. In this one, this condition there, if the fire alarm is triggered, you can add any other conditions like threshold with duration. If the door is open for more than 5 minutes, or the temperature exceeds a specific threshold for more than 1 day. Geofencing, so I can set up a area and set if the car hasn't left this area or left this area between midnight and 6 a.m., I want to get an alert. If someone hasn't got back to the parking, left the parking, and some others triggers, it can be, the rules can operate all week, or you can decide on specific days, work days, nights, and so on. And if something happens, you can trigger an action. It can be an SMS, email, or a phone call using parameterized messages. So I can enter some parameters to the messages. It can be sending to a web service. So I can send to any other system, external system, send some commands, data, also parameterized. I can send command to the device. So if the temperature is lower than the HVAC, change a property or a configuration of a device or any property. So this is the automation. If something happens, then you'll see the list of alarms here and the information. When was it triggered? What was the rule that triggered the alert? You can dismiss it, snooze it. Soon you'll be able to assign it to other users for a future handling. The next part I will cover is the reports. We have also rule users, auditing, managing users, and auditing who did what. Reports is also very interesting. I can create reports like all the smoke detectors that are out of order, create what are the filters that I want to set up. I can share it with other guys, the relevant guys, and employees, managers, and so on. I can subscribe to it. So I can say, okay, I want to get this list on a weekly basis, on Sundays, on Mondays, and Thursdays, specific hour in specific format, Excel, PDF. I can subscribe to it, and I will get all the information to the email. Now I will go to some analytics, showing you some analytics. So I will choose one device, AC Office. Where is the weight? Let's go to the floor and take the weight roof. And I'll go to charts. I will resize it. Here you can see there's some analytics. It can be any type of chart, heat map, column, area, line. It can be any type of aggregation, none, sum, average, count, duration, in any time span, hours, minutes, days. I can see this device. I can compare it to a different device. I can compare one building to other building. So now I can compare it, I can focus and zoom, reset the zoom. I can compare one time period to a different one. So if I take, for example, last week, comparing it to the previous period, past 7 days. So here I can compare the same device on different periods. I can add some machine learning capabilities. So if I want to find some anomaly detection, for example. So here, the algorithm identifies an anomaly detection here based on the past few months. It can be other machine learning, forecast linear, forecast quadratic. As I mentioned, using the Axonize IoT hooks, you can enrich everything I'm just showing you. So you add your own conditions, your own actions, your own data analytics, your own machine learning capabilities. Some of them we provide, some of them you will be able to add by your own, and so on. That's the analytics part. Of course, you can export everything to a chart as an image, PDF, Excel file, save it to dashboard, and that brings me to the dashboard. I'll go to the North Tower boards, and I see this is the general dashboard that comes with Axonize out of the box. And here I can see the devices list or the diagram or both, and I can see what is the status of each one, alerts on the right, some widgets here, but I can build my own dashboard as well. So this is the master dashboard of the North building. I can add widget very easily using drag and drop. So I can add devices, last readings, aggregated readings, real-time readings, gauges, cameras, heat maps, overall readings, and so on, many types of widgets. Again, as part of the IoT hooks, you can add your own widgets as well. And here you can see an overview of the North building, heat maps, charts, and so on. I can go to the lobby and see what's the status there. Currently, no motion. Coffee machine, water consumption, how many devices are in the lobby, what's the status of the lobby, everything is okay, but the one door is open, and so on. If I go to the master application now, I will be to see an overview of my entire buildings. Okay, so this one, until now, I saw only the buildings, the North building, but now if I go to the alarms, I will see the alarms from all other buildings currently from the North. If I go to the reports, I will see reports from both buildings. If I go to the devices, I will see the devices list of both buildings. This one from South North, this one from North. Filter? I can see the North Tower devices list, South Tower, both, and so on. If I go to the dashboard, I'll be able to create dashboard that that aggregates all the data, consolidates all the data from all the other from both buildings. Okay, and if I have n buildings, so it will aggregate all the data from the buildings. No. The application, that's it in terms of managing the building. The application is a multi-tenant, so I can create another subtenant. Okay, it's very easy to create new applications. So if I have a new building, I can create a new building, give it an image, and then it will ready. Assuming the devices are connected to Axonize, everything will be created automatically. I can create there are some use cases when our service provider, they have their own service provider, so we can create a hierarchy of service provider that they will have other customers as well. We have here the product. The product I've mentioned before, the Axonize IoT universal model. This is where you define the product, so everything will work automatically. So I go to one of the devices, temperature devices. I will see here the definition of the devices, what is going to be presented in the tooltips, wherever I see the device, what are the events. For each event, what is a good value, what is a bad value, so the gauges, everything will be done automatically. The colors of the icons will be changed automatically. Device properties and settings. This You define it. Although you're doing it within the platform, but the data you provide is external to the platform. We compile this information that you enter here, and we build everything automatically accordingly. So you can create any type of device. The Axonize platform is agnostic to the device. Create any type of event, and set up the colors and so on. And then when you go to have a diagram here. When I go to the devices, I will see the colors setting up according to the devices that I set.
Just one more point about devices. If you're moving to a new product like Axonize, it doesn't mean you have to change or purchase new devices. One of the big bonuses is that it connects to any device out there, and a new device will be created. We can also connect to this. We also create the self-service gateway, which gives you the independence to create connections yourselves, gives you all the flexibility you need. So this is an important point.
Thank you. Now we're going into the questions portion of the webinar. So if you have questions, please feel free to type them in now into the questions box, and we'll be happy. And Yaniv and Michael here and Shacha will be happy to answer your questions. So we'll give everybody a minute or two, and then we'll start with the questions. Okay, so the first question being asked here is as follows. What types of data aggregation or manipulation is possible when getting in individual data points and wanting to display on a dashboard or in a report average, total, standard deviation, moving average, minimum, and maximum? Johnny, would you like to answer that question?
So we are here in the people counting device, for example. The type of analytics that we can have, here you can see, we can aggregate the data, summarize it, take the average, count, mean, max, duration. So if device has a status, we can say what is the duration that it was within each one of the statuses. The aggregation times also varies between minutes, hours, to semester, years. Machine learning that I showed, and everything can be, it can be by any time range, of course. Some are pre-built, some of them are custom. And then you can export it or save it to the dashboard and you'll see it. I hope I answered the question. If not, please let us know.
Okay, thank you. Question, are there integrations with existing, like right now all our sensor data is being piped into Azure IoT Hub. Can it be easily piped into Axonize from there?
Yes, so the Axonize platform leverages the cloud providers' IoT capabilities. The Axonize platform currently supports the Azure IoT stack. We are now working with Amazon to support theirs and with Google. So everything you send to IoT, to Azure IoT Hub, or any device that is compatible with Azure IoT Hub is compatible with Axonize automatically. I've mentioned the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway. One part of it is the Axonize self-service gateway, and this service gateway knows to take any data that is sent to the Azure IoT Hub and get it into the Axonize platform almost seamlessly.
Thank you. Third question here. Can you define alert rules that involve multiple sensors in order to trigger an alert? Like if temperature sensor X and humidity is between Y and Z.
So yes, if I go to the rules engine, I can create a rule. So we have here turn AC off.
Time-based.
Yes, start. No, this one also time-based. This one. So here we added a condition, one condition that says if a movement was detected, no movement was detected for 10 minutes. Here I cannot. Let me just show you another one. Not time-based. I'm looking for conditions. Fire alarm. So here, in fact, in a standard condition, okay. So if I have a threshold, fire alarm was alarmed, and now I can add another condition. So if a specific, I don't know, the elevator, I don't know what's elevator, equals to floor 3. Here we have the condition level. So we have 3 types of condition levels. One of them is on the device. So if I choose a device, then I can choose a specific device that the rule will be applied to it. And I can choose multiple devices as well. Or I can set a rule based on a product, which is a device type. And then I need to choose a product type. So if it's a power or elevator or flooding, and then this rule will be applied to all the same type. So this is also one of the capabilities of the master application. So if I'm doing it, if I have like, I don't know, tens of thousands of buildings, and I'm doing it on the master application, and I set a rule on a product level, this rule will apply to all the buildings that uses the same this specific product. And we have the app level. So if I ask about the app level, I add temperature, for example. So this means this rule now will be applied to all the, this rule will be applied to all the devices that measure temperature. No matter what type of product, no matter what device, if it sends a temperature and it is part of this application, it will be the rule will be applied to this device, device. So we have a device-based rule, product-based rule, and an application-based rule. They're all multiple. I just need to give it a name. And now I have fire and temperature higher than 50. So if it was a false alarm, then and the temperature is still low, then I won't get an alert.
Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. Fourth question being asked here. How do you handle LoRa data input into your platform? It requires a deduplication server. Is that typically handled by the client?
So Axonize provides a platform for the service providers. So the service providers sometimes they have their own server. So for example, Telecom, BMA. Telecom has a very good product around the smart building called BMA, and they're using LoRa. So Axonize, we have the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway, which also has a protocol gateway, and the Axonize protocol gateway supports all LoRa connectivity. So we know how we already connected to the LoRa servers from different vendors, and to get all the LoRa devices into the Axonize. We're already running a few projects based on LoRa devices, but it can be a mixed device. We also have projects that some devices are LoRa, some devices are NB-IoT, some devices are Bluetooth, and so on. So the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway is responsible to connect to these servers that gets the information from the specific protocol and adapt it to the Axonize object.
Thank you. Fifth question here. Is there or will there be a library of rules so that even a non-technical building can create a rule that, for example, detects compressor short cycling based on certain predefined inputs?
Yeah, so the idea, if you go to the smart build, it's to the master application, the smart building, and I create a rule, I can use the rule in another sub applications, and then I will be able to copy and paste to duplicate the rule. So you can leave the rule as empty. And you can just here duplicate the rule and then change the system. All the rules that you're doing in the master application will be applied on the sub application or subtenant. So you create the library.
Thank you. So there's another question that just came in. What if I need to change the business logic or extend the application with customer algorithms?
So the Axonize IoT hooks is capable of expanding the platform and reaching it. And we can create the machine learning algorithm that you saw on the devices. They were provided by our partners. Currently, we are doing it offline. So if I go to the device here and I go to charts, so one of the algorithm was provided to us by Microsoft, two by Deutsche Telekom data scientists, and we are allowed to use it. But the idea is that you can expand the data analytics and the machine learning capabilities, add your own algorithms that your data scientist provides or builds.
Thank you. Somebody just emailed us another question. What protocols and data structures can I use?
Data structure, in terms of data, the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway consists of two sub-gateways. One of them is the Axonize Protocol Gateway, and the other one is the Axonize Data Structure Gateway. On the data structure level, we can support any type of data structure. It's just a mapping of what is the naming of the original source and converted to the naming of the Axonize object. In terms of protocol, it is very easy to add a new protocol to the Axonize platform. Currently, we support out of the box HTTP, HTTPS, TCP, UDP, AMQP, MQTT, OPC UA, Modbus, CAN bus, SNMP, and FTP. TCP, UDP also. WebSockets. So we support out of the box, but and now we're working on lightweight M2M. This is something we're working on now. But the architecture of Axonize is built so it will be very easy to add a new protocol. It can be also a proprietary protocol. For example, Tyco they have their own protocol, and it took us about 3 days to add their protocol to the Axonize, their entire protocol to the Axonize platform. And of course, as soon as we add one protocol, all the customers worldwide can use it.
Thank you. Okay, another question just came in. What kind of resources do I need to invest in order to develop my projects?
So as you can see, that the Axonize portal is very, very flexible. Some of our customers, they don't use skilled programmers and engineers to build an application. It's most of it is pretty straightforward. It's very easy to add rules. It's very easy to create dashboards. Very easy to see the analytics and reports. So most of our customers, they don't have to be very skilled in engineering. But if you're going to use the Axonize IoT hooks and you want to expand the platform, that might require some stronger engineering capabilities to, for example, to inject a condition or to inject an action to the rules engine.
Thank you. Another question just came in. How much data can one store? History, 30 days, 3 months?
So the Axonize platform can support any type of, any period of storage, okay? It depends on the use case. Usually in the healthcare, pharmaceutical, it is required to keep it for 11 years. Smart cities, they don't care about more than 30 days. So the Axonize platform is not limited. The business model is that you pay per device per month. It's a pay as you go. And we have few types of packages that are based on the use case, that each one of the package includes some data storage. And of course, you can always extend it by buying storage. This is the costs are almost they're similar to the costs that we pay for storage. This is not our business model, so it's a not expensive issue, the storage.
Okay, one more question. What kind of business logic can I configure for my application as a default?
So the dashboard you can create, I don't know if it's a business logic, but the dashboard you can configure is a default. You have the data analytics that you saw. You can define any type of data analytics, any mix, compare devices, compare buildings, compare flows. You can define rules engine. It's very easy.
Energy savings measured.
Everything I show here is customizable.
Thank you.
Any more questions from the chat? Anyone?
If anybody has any more questions, yeah, this is the time to ask. We'll give everybody another minute. Okay, I have another question here. Okay, one more question that just came in. What kind of sensors or systems can I connect to my IoT project?
As I mentioned in the beginning, the Axonize platform support both the digital twin and the device twin. So it means some of our customers are smart product customers. I mean, building a connected device, they have hardware and they want it to be connected. Some other are enterprises like building, hotels, and so on. In a smart product, in device twin use cases, it's very easy because we have an agent, the Axonize IoT Intelligent Edge, and you can use it to any device, on any device, any operating system, some of them without operating system, MCUs, any protocol, any code language. So in terms of the IoT Intelligent Edge, everything is supported. But when you're supporting smart enterprises like building, hotel, campuses, in most cases, there are already devices there. It's not all the use cases are when you build a new building. And in that case, you can have some systems and platforms that are connected or used for years, tens of years. And Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway is responsible to connect to this legacy system. So if we have a printer from the 80s or HVAC from the 90s, Axonize can connect to it also very easily using gateways, using the Axonize IoT Cloud Gateway, and so on. But it's very important to know that when in a smart enterprise solution, it is not that you connect only to devices, but also to non-IoT application and platform. So if I go to the hotel, I want to connect to the hotel management system to know if the room is checked in or checked out. If I'm in a smart building, I want to connect to the, I don't know, a gym, friends and occupants. If I want to, so we can connect to any other platforms, not only devices, weather stations, employee directories, and so on.
Thank you, Johnny. Another question just came in. Can analytic data be exported, synchronized with an external system, repository?
Yes, as part of the external services that Axonize provides, we can send data. We are an open platform. We can get inputs from any other platform, from any platform or device or system, and we can send it out to any platform and system. It can be as part of a regular batch or solution, or it can be as part of a rules trigger. So if something happens, then I want to send the analytical data, or I can send all the raw data to specific. In some cases, customers want to send the data to two systems, so we can split the data and send it to two of them. We can aggregate the data and send it to other third-party analytics, and so on. So it's very open in terms of inputs, and both inputs and outputs. In a standard way, mainly RESTful API plus JSON.
Great, thank you, Johnny. Okay, just another minute. Some other people are typing in some questions, so just another second.
Any other questions? No?
Other question? Okay, so I don't see the other question coming in. So we're 5 minutes before the end of the webinar. So if anybody has any other questions or would like to schedule a one-on-one with any of our IoT experts, including Johnny himself here or Shachar, we'd be more than happy to give you some more time. Thank you guys for giving us an hour of your time. It was a pleasure presenting to you, and hope to speak to you in the near future. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.